The NFL draft is 2 weeks away. Less than that if I was recording this yesterday. But we got my final one round, just regular mock draft. I'm gonna do a 2 round one soon. I don't know why my clap sounded like that a second ago. I'm gonna do a 2 round mock draft soon. I'm gonna do a full on predictive mock, what I think will happen. I'm going to do what I would do mock draft if I were each team, like what players I would personally take. And this is just kind of just a mock draft, not exactly predictive as much as I would do, just kind of in between those. Just kind of the last one I'm gonna do where I'm just kind of messing around, and then we'll start to get into the more of the predictive and all that good stuff. I think I'm gonna do one or two more film breakdowns before the cycle's over. Kind of been lacking on those, so that's my fault. I don't know who I'm gonna do next, to be honest. I kind of want to do a corner. Maybe Terry and Arnold. Maybe do Nate Wiggins. I kind of want to do an offensive lineman too, but that's boring. I think Brian Thomas Jr. would be fun. Lad McConkey would be fun too. White Lightning 2.0, only White Lightning behind Cooper DeJean. But yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and jump straight into it. Obviously, we do believe Caleb Williams will be the number one pick. It's all but guaranteed at this point, and we're at that point of the draft season where there's a lot of smoke screens. Like a week ago, there was rumors that J.J. McCarthy would go at 2 to the Commanders. I don't think that's happening. I do think it'll still be Drake May. People will point to, Jaden Daniels is more of a fit in that Washington offense with what Cliff Kingsbury values, which is like, the scrambling kind of quarterback. But I think that the intangibles or tangibles or whatever for Drake May push him above Jaden Daniels based on, he can throw over the middle better. He doesn't take as many shots as Jaden Daniels does. He's got better accuracy. And yeah, he might have been inconsistent, but could you name his number one receiver? I mean, it was Tez Walker, I guess, but could you name any other player on that North Carolina offense other than Drake May and Tez Walker? I couldn't, and I do this stuff like all day, every day. I don't even know who they'd be. And then for the Patriots, I do think it'll be a quarterback. There's rumors that the Broncos might trade up, trade Pat Surtain to try to move up. But, I mean, I just don't think anything will come out of that. I did think they'll probably end up waiting a year. Maybe, actually in this mock draft. We'll just wait and see. There are rumors that the Broncos will move up, but I doubt they will. And then the Cardinals here, I do have them trading down with the Vikings. We've heard it. It made it very obvious when they traded for pick 23. The Cardinals said that they want 3 first-round picks to move up. Well, here's their 3. And we're not going to do any, like, the minuscule details. We're just going to do a straight-up. It'll be something like this plus a pick swap and all that good stuff. And I do think it'll be J.J. McCarthy. I love J.J. McCarthy. Did a film breakdown on him. If you hate J.J. McCarthy, watch my film breakdown. Watch film on him. Like, you'll understand why J.J. McCarthy is so good. He can throw in the tight windows. Like, he can make any of the tight window throws. He's got good pocket presence, good, sense of pressure in the pocket. He can make any throw on the field, can make the tight window throws in the middle of the field at the short and intermediate level. And I mean, he's just so overhated for no reason, just because, like, yeah, he handed off the ball a lot, but because they didn't have to throw it. I don't know what that stroke was I had. They didn't have to throw the ball. They won a national championship on running the ball. And when you throw it more, that risks interceptions. And I mean, he only had 2 or 4 interceptions this year. And I did the math in that video. It was like a 1% interception to throw rate. It was like a 1% of his throws were interceptions because I divided, his interceptions per his attempts. And it was 1%. So I just don't get why people hate J.J. McCarthy so much. It's just, see, the games we looked at was UNLV and Ohio State. I think his grade should have been higher. I thought he did pretty good against Ohio State. But yeah, moving on. We got the Chargers here at 5. Now I know Jim Harbaugh wants a tackle. He wants, defensive line, whatever. If Marvin Harrison Jr. is here on the board and you already have Justin Herbert, you'd be hard-pressed not to take Marvin Harrison Jr. to pair with Justin Herbert for the next 10-plus years. I mean, a generational receiver, arguably one of the best receiver prospects we've ever seen, drops into your lap at 5. Well, you already have a franchise quarterback. You have a solid offensive line. You have no other receivers outside of him. I mean, Josh Palmer, Quentin Johnston, like what are they doing? You got a solid defense with, Joey Bosa, obviously, Khalil Mack, Asante Samuel, Derwin James. Like your defense is good. You don't need to target that in the first round. You can take a generational receiver at 5 and feel very good about it. And that opens the door, obviously, to the Giants taking Malik Neighbors. I mean, it's been mocked in every mock. Unless the quarterback falls, they're taking a receiver. And then the Titans here, just got them sticking and picking Joe Alt. So I do mock drafts on my own from time to time, and I usually have them trading down for a tackle. But I mean, we saw with the Lions getting Penei Sewell back in 2021. When a great tackle like that just falls into your lap, you just take him. And I think it might have been pick 7 as well. But you just take him. Don't think twice about it. Don't worry about moving down, getting more picks, and potentially losing your guy. Just stick there and pick him. And, he could slot in at left tackle on day 1. So then you got Joe Alt, Peter Skoronski, Lloyd Cushenberry. The right side of your offensive line is lackluster, but shoring up that left side will be very good for you guys. Falcons here. I do have another trade. I have the Cardinals moving. I have the Cardinals moving back up for a receiver. I don't really know what we'll just throw in like I don't know, pick 90. We'll just do that. All right. I don't know what the exact details would be, but we'll just do that. And I got him taking Rome Odunze, obviously. Moving down, you lose out on Marvin Harrison Jr. and Malik Neighbors, but you move back up for Rome Odunze. You jump the Bears who could take him. You jump the Jets who could take him. So, I mean, even if they still had Marquise Brown, you would still mock them a receiver. They still would need a receiver because you need more than one. But now they have none. They got what? Michael Wilson, Greg Dortch. I don't even know who else. They have no receivers on that team. And you need to walk out of the first round with a receiver for Kyler Murray. He's got no help out there. His offensive line is below mid, I guess. I mean, Paris Johnson Jr. is fine. They brought in Jonah Williams, but nobody other than that. They brought in no help at receiving. They have to walk out of the first round with a receiver or at least hopefully an offensive lineman. I don't give them an offensive lineman in this mock. Because, I mean, their picks, they pick in, the top of the second round. They got high draft picks. They'll be fine to take, target like a Christian Haynes or a Christian Mahogany down the board. Maybe a Cooper Beebe. I could see that. So I think they'll be fine to walk out of the first round without an offensive lineman because they're very good down the board. And for Bears at 9, I mean, they got 4 picks in this draft. They got pick at 1, 9, 75, and then 122. And that's it. I mean, that's 4 picks for a team that's not very good. So I got him trading down with, probably one you guys haven't seen before. Got the Saints moving up. Moving up from pick 14. I don't know. We'll throw in 175, 199, and bring in a 6th from next year. I don't know. We'll just do something like that. And got the Saints moving up for a tackle here. I mean, with the Jets potentially taking a tackle, the Falcons could take a tackle, but probably not. Broncos probably don't. I think they could. Raiders might. I mean, there's a lot of teams in between here that could take a tackle. So you move up. You got a lot of picks. You move up, get your guy, Olu Fashanu, and it is Fashanu apparently. So I do. With their, their situation with Ryan Ramczyk, who's got that knee stuff. Trevor Penning has been a disappointment to say the least. Might be too early to call him a bust, but it's looking. I mean, another year like he had this last year, he'll be a bust. So moving up for Olu Fashanu. I mean, it's just hard to pronounce, but moving up for Olu Fashanu will help their offensive line, I guess. I don't know. I'm just having a stroke with this pick. We're just going to move swiftly onward. Jets. Now, one thing we hear from general managers or analysts that are also plugged in, like Daniel Jeremiah. I trust Daniel Jeremiah's word. And one thing he said, I can't remember what draft he said it in, but he said, trust what you hear at the beginning of the process. And what we heard at the beginning of the process was that the Jets loved Talisa Fuanga. It's Fuanga. Just like Fashanu. I'm learning new things anyways. So the Jets were linked heavily to Talisa Fuanga. And here he is on the board. Fashanu's off the board, Joe Alt's off the board, and there hasn't been any rumors with the Jets recently. So I think Talisa Fuanga would be the pick here. We kind of got a tackle run here, And in the top 10, we've only had quarterbacks, receivers, or tackles go. That's got to be a record for something. Pick 11 to the Falcons. I have Dallas Turner. Not a huge fan of him. I mean, that sounds bad. He's not a horrible player. All right, he needs to put on strength. He needs to work on his technique. Him and Chop Robinson, I have pretty closely together. I have Dallas Turner closer to Chop Robinson than I have him to Jared Verse. But based on his athleticism, upside, all that kind of stuff, I do think he will end up going high. Similar to a Trayvon Walker, similar to a Lucas Van Ness, similar to who's that dude last year? Not last year, it was the year before, Tyree Wilson. And no, that was this year actually. I'm wrong. Similar to a Tyree Wilson kind of player with the long arms, with the athleticism, all that kind of things will make them go high, even if they're not as good of a player right now. And I mean, the Falcons, they just need defensive line help in the worst way. Grady Jarrett isn't getting any younger. I think Calais Campbell's gone. So bringing in a solid edge rusher for your team would very much help, to say the least. We got another trade here. Pick 12. Another trade you probably haven't seen yet. I got the Eagles moving up with the Broncos. We'll throw in we'll do 50, and then a pick swap of like 172 and I don't know, 147. We'll just do that. Obviously, I don't know what the exact details would be, but Eagles got 2 second-round picks and not a lot of holes that they need filled, so you might as well move up and get a great player like Kenyon Mitchell. Very, very, very good athlete. What's his PFF shit? Not great in the run game, but very good in man coverage, zone coverage, all that good stuff. So yeah, very, very athletic Kenyon Mitchell is. You got Darius Slay, who's 32. You got, I don't know if they have James Bradbury anymore, but they need secondary help in the worst way. If they stick at pick 22, you look at a guy like Cooper DeJean, maybe a Nate Wiggins, maybe you probably don't take Tyler Nubin at safety. Maybe target another safety in mid-round 2 if you don't take a cornerback in round 1. But I do think that they have to. My nose is so itchy. I'm sorry. I'm not picking my nose. I'm just itching it. I got sunburnt, so it's peeling. Fuck. All right, Bears at pick 14. I'm going to go receiver here. I'm going to go Brian Thomas Jr. Kind of similar to a Keenan Allen oh, shit. I gave him to the Raiders instead. All right. I have the Raiders taking Terry and Arnold. Just switch these two. If you skipped up here to see who I had your team picking, just switch Brian Thomas and Terry and Arnold. Just switch them. I looked at the Bears, so I thought it was up to them or onto them at this point. So we're gonna start off with the Raiders taking Terry and Arnold. Their head coach came out and said, they're building their team to beat the Chiefs. Obviously, also Joe Burrow said that. Everybody wants to beat the Chiefs, and when your top corner is Nate Hobbs. I think it's Nate Hobbs. And then Jack Jones, the Chiefs, even though they don't have great receivers, they're going to be able to throw against you all day and every day. Terry and Arnold slots in as your day 1 cornerback 1. He's great in the pass game, obviously. Not so great in man coverage, but real good in zone coverage. Willing tackler and all that kind of thing, all those kinds of things. I think Terry and Arnold would be a great fit for the Raiders. And then Brian Thomas Jr. for the Bears here. Keenan Allen is a 1-year rental. He's old, but he's still good. And then after he leaves, you got DJ Moore, but I mean that's about it. Just Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. Give Caleb Williams all the weapons he can, and yeah, Brian Thomas for the Bears, Terry and Arnold for the Raiders. Colts here at pick 15. Early in the cycle, I gave him Brock Bowers. I'm gonna do that again today. I had Brock Bowers with the Colts before that was popular. Fact check that. I also had Olu Fashanu falling out of the top 10 before everybody else did. You can fact check that too, but I don't have him doing that today. But the Colts, I mean, you could look at receiver, but I mean, do you want to take these guys at pick 15? Do you want to take A.D. Mitchell? I mean, he's the only one you can make a case for, really. But Brock Bowers, you absolutely would love to take at pick 15. Your tight ends aren't amazing. Jelani Woods is injured. Mo Alley Cox is not exactly a spring chicken anymore. And you got Michael Pittman, you got Josh Downs, you got Alec Pierce. So bringing in Brock Bowers plus Jonathan Taylor and a very good offensive line. Anthony Richardson has weapons galore, and he's got everything that he needs to develop. He's got a great coaching staff. He's got everything in place for him. Now it's just on to him to prove that he is the guy that the Colts thought they would get at pick 4. Seahawks at pick 16. So I got Graham Barton going here. He's listed as a tackle still, but freaky athletic, freaky athletic. I know you wouldn't expect it. You know, he's a little bit on the side, but very, very, very athletic. He's got the versatility. I compare him to a Zach Martin from what was that, 2014? Was that 2014 for Zach Martin? I want to say 2014. That sounds right. I'm not sure. Don't fact check me on that. Maybe it was 2012. I don't know. But Zach Martin was a guy coming out of Notre Dame who could play all five positions, whether it be tackle, guard, or center. And Graham Barton is very, 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 very similar to that. Played center 2 years ago, played tackle the last 2 years. He's, filled in just about everywhere he's needed. And, that's also what Zach Martin was coming out of Notre Dame. And Graham Barton is more athletic than Zach Martin was, or is, both, I guess. And, the Seahawks, they need guard, they need center. Graham Barton probably slots in as your day one left, right guard, or center. And for the Jaguars, it's just keep it simple. Is that who they mostly take? No. Really? Most people give them corner or edge rusher. They extended Josh Allen, but their offensive line is very much not good. They brought in Anton Harrison last year. Walker Little exists, I guess. Cam Robinson's also on this planet with us. We've had, 3 defensive players go? 3 defense players. That's crazy. Yeah, this is a stacked offensive class for quarterback, tackle, receiver, plus O-line too. So, keep Trevor Lawrence upright. You could look at receiver here, but I think you can get a good one down in round 2. Bengals at pick 18. I got them going Byron Murphy. Brought in Miles Murphy last year. They already have Sam Hubbard and Trey Hendrickson. Defensive interior is not doing very good right there. They lost, what's his face? They lost some dude a year or two ago. Maybe this year, I don't know. But defensive interior is not good. Keep bringing pressure. They get dominated by the Chiefs because the Bengals have nobody in the middle, and the Chiefs have, Joe Tooney, Creed Humphrey, and Trey Smith. They get dominated by these teams with great centers and guards because they have nobody in the middle of that D-line to even put up a fight. So, you get a guy like Byron Murphy, who's a little bit shorter. What's he listed at? 6'1", 308. Decent weight, not exactly the greatest height, but, freaky, freaky athletic. He's got a great first step. Very, very, very powerful guy for 6'1". That's weird to think that I'm as tall as, just a little bit taller than Byron Murphy, but he's, a whole 120 plus pounds heavier than me. Is crazy. Rams at pick 19. I could see him moving up. Look at all these picks that they got. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 picks. Very likely to see the Rams move up, but I do not have them doing that today. And, you look at a guy like Jared Verse potentially maybe bringing another corner for once Tre'Davious White leaves, because I think it's like a 1-year deal. Could look at corner, could look at edge rusher, but O-line is not good for the for the Rams. Brought in Steve Avila last year, but that's one guy, and the rest of the line's not good. I'm going to go Troy Fautanu. Probably slot in as your day one left tackle, maybe right tackle, depending on where Rob Havenstein decides to play this year. But I think Troy Fautanu would be a great pick for the Rams here. Pick 22, the Steelers. I got another trade, and I got the Cardinals jumping up again. Just moving up 3 slots. I don't know. We'll flip them to 104. Call that good. Got the Cardinals moving up for Jared Verse. He's on the board here at pick 20. You look at the Dolphins, who could potentially take him. The Broncos could potentially take him. Another team could try to jump you, like the Bucks, maybe the Cowboys potentially. The Bills moving all the way up could take an edge rusher, but I don't think that's what the Bills need to target in round 1. But, the Cardinals just no defensive line. They brought in B.J. Ojulari last year, who looked solid at times as a rookie, but they don't have that powerful guy that Jared Verse is. Great hands. I love Jared Verse a lot. Dolphins here at pick 21. I got Jer'Zhan Newton. I think I had him falling out of the first round last mock, but looking at him a bit more, I do see the first round talent that he possesses. Lives in the backfield. This is a great player. You thought he was undersized at 6'2", 295. Byron Murphy's even smaller, and he goes high. So what's to stop Jer'Zhan Newton, who's an inch taller and a little bit lighter? So I think after losing Christian Wilkins, you need defensive line, especially with Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips suffering season-ending injuries last year. If they don't start week 1, what do you have on the defensive line? Who's that dude they brought in? I mean, they brought in Jordan Brooks, but he's, an off-ball linebacker. He's not going to be rushing the passer. So I think Dolphins going for D-line. If there's not an amazing tackle on the board, I mean, J.C. Latham's fine, but I think if there's a great edge rusher or defensive interior player like Jerzon Newton on the board, I think you have to take him at 21. Broncos, got him moving down, still getting Bo Nix. I do like that a lot, moving down and still getting your guy. They could take him at pick 12. It could happen. I mean, if you're comfortable taking him at pick 12, if you're comfortable taking him at 22, what's to stop you from taking him at 12? I mean, you get more picks, yeah, but another team like the Raiders could take him. Another team could move up and take him. The Rams could potentially take him. But I think moving down here, still get your guy, recoup draft picks. Makes a lot of sense here. Could be available in the second, maybe even third round. But I think Bo Nix has the talent to go round one. Just the age. But I think he's ready to start day one. This is a player that Sean Payton will certainly like. Maybe he can pay him to hurt some defensive players. Steelers, got him going J.C. Latham. Could go receiver, could go corner, but, you got Broderick Jones, who's going to be on the left side. J.C. Latham, your plug and play starting day one right tackle. Very, very powerful. I like J.C. Latham. I didn't like him so much at the beginning of the process, but looking at him a bit more, I do like him. Cowboys at pick 24. Now, picture this. You're Jerry Jones, right? You love Texas. Close your eyes and picture it with me. You love Texas. I don't know what that Russian accent is. Anyways, Jerry Jones, you love Texas. You love the Texas Longhorns. You love Texas football. And who describes Texas football more than a Texas receiver by the name of Adonai Mitchell? I mean, this is just a guy that Jerry Jones would love. Freaky athletic from the state of Texas. Well, he's not from the state of Texas, but went to Texas. Went to Georgia last year. Won 2 national championships with the Bulldogs. Almost had 3 in a row with Texas, but too bad they suck. I'm an Oklahoma fan. Horns down. Can't really see me over there. Horns down. But I do like Adonai Mitchell. I hope that the Chiefs potentially move up and get a guy like him, or maybe even a Brian Thomas Jr. if he falls. But I do like Adonai Mitchell a lot. Very, very, very athletic. And, all they have is CeeDee Lamb. I've heard things that they could take a quarterback. It's not happening. We heard that about the Ravens last year. It's not happening. They're not taking a quarterback. Jerry Jones will extend Dak Prescott. Dak will be on there probably till he retires. Packers at pick 25. It's just Cooper DeJean. They brought in Xavier McKinney, yes, but all they have is Jair Alexander, Xavier McKinney. Lost Darnell Savage. Cooper DeJean's kind of that guy that can make plays in the run game. Slot nickel cornerback. Xavier McKinney's, their free safety. You could move Cooper DeJean down a strong safety, play him in the box at times, but I think slot cornerback / nickel cornerback is his day one plug and play role. Packers could go offensive line, but that's not what the Packers take in round one. Pick 26 to the Bucks. If Laiatu Latu's on the board, you take it here. Help revamp that defense. That's what won them the Super Bowl back in 2021. They had Tom Brady, obviously, but that defensive line and that front seven in general just pummeled the hell out of the Chiefs in their lack of offensive line. And Laiatu Latu is such a good player. I love his finesse moves, his hands. He's got a pass rush plan, which you can't say the same about where's he at? You can't say that about a Dallas Turner, a Chop Robinson. You can almost say that about Jared Verse, but Laiatu Latu is the most polished edge rusher in this class. Just falls to 26 because of, neck injuries, having to medically retire, all that good stuff. But, it's a great value pick at pick 26. Cardinals at pick 27. Got him going Nate Wiggins. Just a guy that can hopefully shut down receivers from day one. They got no other corners. They brought in, Sean Murphy Bunting. They have Garrett Williams from a year ago who was all right as a rookie. But bringing in that cornerback, you're walking out of the class with Rome Odunze, Jared Verse, and Nate Wiggins. That reminds me of that Jets draft class from 2022 where they walked out with Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, and Jermaine Johnson. Garrett Wilson, Rome Odunze, Sauce Gardner, Nate Wiggins, and Jermaine Johnson, Jared Verse. And we see how good those 3 players have turned out. And I'm not saying Nate Wiggins is Sauce Gardner. That's not what I'm saying. The same position group, same 3 first-round picks, similar areas except they picked at 10 instead of pick 20. But I could absolutely see these 3 players going, yes, they need offensive line, but you can target that with your later picks. Bills on the board at pick 28. not the board, the clock. And I got him going. Where's he at? Lad MC Conkey. I love Lad McConkey. Very, very good athletic. You know, the sneaky athlete. Let him date your daughter. No. I love Lad McConkey. He is a very good athlete. He's got great speed, great straight line speed, pushes DBs down the field. You know, very, very shifty. You know, for the Bills, you look at players and you're just like, okay, they could be a Bill. Like Troy Franklin, you can just picture Troy Franklin's name on the back of a Bills uniform. But I got him going Lad McConkey here. I think that'd be a lot of fun for that offense that is lacking receivers in general. Lions on the board at pick 29. If they take Kool-Aid McKinstry, it'd be crazy because 2021, they took Jameson Williams, who went to Alabama, wore number 1. That was 2022. Then 2023, they took Jahmyr Gibbs, went to Alabama, wore number 1. Now they take Kool-Aid McKinstry, went to Alabama, and wore number 1. That'd be very interesting, but that's not why I'm picking him. He is athletic, but very good in the run game. Cam Sutton's gone, traded for Carlton Davis, yes, but that's not a lot of help. Could look at interior, could look at edge, but I think Kool-Aid McKinstry at pick 29 is a great value. Ravens on the board at pick 30. Amarius Mims falls here. You'd probably take him. Only had 8 starts in Georgia, but they were great starts. He had some great fun blocks in pass protection. He had this one where he just threw a dude, which was fun to watch. But they got Ronnie Stanley. He lost Morgan Moses. Amarius Mims could learn from Ronnie Stanley, absolutely. So I think that'd be a lot of fun for the Ravens. Could look at receiver, could look at corner, edge, and all that. But I think Amarius Mims at pick 30 is great value. And for the 49ers, I got one more trade here. Got them trading back with the Commanders, which they're not talked about. I think that they could absolutely move up to the back end of the first round. They pick up pick 36 and pick 40. They got three top 40 picks. Then again at 67. So yeah, I'm going to have them moving down to the 49ers here. And I don't know, we'll flip them. Only moving down 5 picks. We'll flip them pick 100 and a pick swap of 222 and 251. We'll just say that. I don't know. But I do have them taking Tyler Guyton. Lost Charles Leno, who wasn't even that good. Their offensive line is just not good. So you can hopefully protect Drake May, keep him clean in the pocket. And Tyler Guyton at pick 31, you move up for him. You just got to move up pick 100. That's great value. And that's what a lot of these picks are. It's great value picks. Now, Chiefs, Shee Rice, what a dumbass. It's just a bad situation. Brought in Marquise Brown. They got, not much else outside of that. Rashee Rice broke my heart. But, you look at their picks that they have, right? Pick 64, 95. They got all their typical picks. I don't know where they got this pick from Dallas from. But, you look at they got 2 third-rounders next year. And I could see them flipping, maybe one of those third-rounders and, pick 159 plus 64, obviously. Move up to, the middle to upper second round. Take a receiver there, Troy Franklin, a Keon Coleman, Xavier Legette, I would love. But, what won them the championship game this year? What won them the Super Bowl? The defense. It wasn't the offense. It was the defense. And, that defense just carried them. It was obviously Mahomes. They wouldn't have won it without Mahomes. But, they trade L'Jarius Sneed. They still have Trent McDuffie, but not a whole lot outside of that. And I'm going to go Mike Sanders still. I haven't had him in a first round mock draft yet, but let's get this to load so I can point it out. Keep in mind if you skipped here, flip Brian Thomas Jr. and Terrion Arnold with the Bears and Raiders. Just flip those two. Pretend like that didn't happen. But Mike Sanders still to the Chiefs. Great corner, great slot cornerback, great in the run game. He's a little bit smaller, but he's great in the run game. Could fill a similar role to what L'Jarius Sneed did. And this is definitely a player that Steve Spagnuolo would absolutely love. I would actually like this, to be honest. In the past couple of years, the first-round picks that the Chiefs have made, not exactly liked. I like 2022 with Trent McDuffie and George Karlaftis. But, 2020 when we took Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I was pissed. Last year when we took Felix Anudike-Uzomah, I was pissed. And I seem to be pretty right about both of them. But I would like Sanders still. If the Chiefs picked him, I'd be like, all right, it's a good pick. I'd like it. And, keep boosting up that defense. Just keep juicing it up. Keep juicing it up. It's no more than 3 What? I guess there's a mock draft assistant now. Okay. But yeah, this is the mock draft once again. Flip Brian Thomas Jr. and Terry and Arnold to the Bears and the Raiders. But yeah, other than that, this will be probably the last mock draft we do. And then eventually we'll do predictive and what I would do. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.